Good evening, everybody. Different story tonight than what we had last night, but we still have some slick spots, not because of anything falling from the sky that's new. I mean, last night, that was just rough. We had areas of snow, we had sleet, and then we had some freezing rain, and that freezing rain was just a light drizzle for the rest of the evening last night that continued to give us this glaze of ice on everything. Clouds are still out there. Didn't see much sunshine today and a few snow flurries up to the north. This clearing that's around St. Louis and southwestern Illinois right now slowly erodes these clouds out and slowly moves in, and that gets us into a day tomorrow where we get into a little more sunshine. Let's run through Futurecast and show you that this erosion of clouds, as I mentioned, takes place during the next few hours. We don't get into totally clear skies by any means, but we'll get into a little sunshine tomorrow. Going to be cold, colder than average, lower 20s tonight. Winds will be out of the west. Can you believe this? Record low today, 10 degrees. That's it. Feels like we were just at 10 degrees, at least in my mind. So we're seeing those record low temperatures on the way up, and I can see in the future March. Next Friday is going to be March 1st. Hard to believe that as well. But 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, lower 20s to start the day. Still a cold weekend for outdoor projects, but if you dress for it, shouldn't be too bad of a day. Ground will be soggy for sure as things are still wet from what we had out there yesterday. Mid-30s. Winds out of the west, we get above freezing for a few hours in the afternoon. It's going to take it a while, probably about 1 or 2 o'clock to get above 32, top out at 35, and then it's cold again. But at least we bring back some sunshine. That's through 6 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Let's get into the overnight tomorrow night, and as mentioned, pretty quiet still. Skies will clear out a little more than what they're going to do so tonight. Mid-20s, it's a cold start to Sunday in the afternoon. Still quiet, really nothing out there, mid-40s. This day, going to be the best of the two. Going to be the best actually of the next 7 because it's quiet. Mid-40s, some sunshine and a few clouds, and there's a whole bunch of something out west that's trying to move in. Very similar to what we had yesterday, just not as active with the amounts that we're seeing out of it, but we'll get there. Let's talk about what we've got now at 32 in Terre Haute, 29 in Casey. Look at Rockville, Paris, Casey, and Mattoon below the 32-degree mark, as well as Effingham. Anything that was wet, that slush that's out there, it gets kind of sloppy a day after the event of what we had last night. So that's all refreezing. Secondary roads, side streets, sidewalks, parking lots, your driveway maybe, my front porch, going to be slick because the temperature's getting back down below 32. Still just wet down here to the south, but overnight everybody getting into the 20s. Winds are out of the west, at times having a little northwesterly component to it, and that's why your highs tomorrow, even with the sunshine, going to be a little bit cooler because of that wind direction, and your wind chills consequently well below 32 degrees. And remember, it's the actual temperature that freezes water, not this wind chill. It's some fancy formula somebody smarter than me came up with for how it feels to your skin. That's why you need to wrap up with cold wind chills outside. Don't forget about the pets in this kind of weather either. Please forecast lows tonight down in the 20s. Those water bowls that did okay today are going to freeze tonight, so make sure your pets have fresh water and stay warm. Down to 22, there it is. We get down below freezing, and we're doing that right now, but by 4 a.m., 28 degrees, 6 a.m., 25 degrees. We dip to 22, and at noon tomorrow, barely back to 32 degrees, or at least real close. So that's why our daytime high tomorrow, 35, is short-lived, short little window there in the afternoon. So 22 tonight, cloudy and cold. That slush we've been talking about refreezes. 35 and colder than average tomorrow, but the sun comes back. I kind of like that. Still cold tomorrow night at 23 in the 7-day forecast. How about some wintry mix possibilities next week? Yeah, it doesn't look to be as bad as this week, but that's still a few days off, and those systems will still evolve, so it could get a little bit worse, and we've got our eyes on that. But in the short term, Saturday and Sunday looking good, and I'm looking at Friday, Patrice. That's March 1st. That's where I need to be, is March 1st.